News out of the NFL. In a stunner, Bill Belichick has failed to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame in his first year on the ballot. That's been confirmed by our NFL insider Jonathan Jones. Considered by many to be one, if not the best coach in NFL history, Belichick did not get the required 40 out of 50 votes necessary for induction. Belichick was a head coach in the NFL for nearly 30 years, 24 of them with the Patriots. His 6 Super Bowl wins are the most all-time. His 333 wins in both the regular season and the playoffs are second best in NFL history. He also has 2 more rings as a defensive coordinator for the Giants under Bill Parcells. Belichick's defensive game plan against the Bills' vaulted K-gun offense in Super Bowl 25 is in Canton, but the architect of that plan will have to wait at least 1 more year. Plenty of reaction around the NFL, so let's bring in our insider, Jonathan Jones. I mean, JJ, you and I were discussing before we came up here the kind of surprise of this news. What's your reaction to hearing Bill Belichick not a Hall of Famer, and maybe what's going on around the rest of the league as well?
Utterly shocked and stunned by this. If you don't have a Pro Football Hall of Fame that doesn't have Bill Belichick in it, there's no use for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It does not compute on any level. You're talking about a winner 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, right? 2 more as an assistant, right? So he has won 8 of the 59 Super Bowls. And then you add in the others that he went to and wasn't able to win. You're talking about someone who has been a part of more than a 1/6 of all of the Super Bowls, right? I mean, look at that right there. That's the whole point of all of this. It's to win the Lombardi. And he did it more times than anyone, right? People dream of winning it just once. He did it 6 times as a head coach and twice more as an assistant, and he's not in Canton. And I frankly and honestly, truthfully, we're gonna probably touch on whatever potential reasons why he's not in. Those reasons are baloney. It's ridiculous. He is Pro Football Hall of Fame. I mean, he grew up in all of this. I can only imagine the hurt that he must be feeling, because it was not that long ago that the Pro Football Hall of Fame changed its rules to allow coaches to get in after just 1 year being separated from being out. So this was his first opportunity. This was his first ballot. And if Bill Belichick can't get in at coach, then there will never be a coach who could get in on the first ballot. I'm getting texts from all over the place. People who have worked with Bill Belichick in Cleveland, people who have worked with him in New England, people who work with him at UNC Chapel Hill that are flabbergasted by this, right? It truly, I can't tell you how much of an injustice this is. And I want to keep that in the proper context, right? This is not a criminal injustice, but if you have a Hall of Fame and you're not willing to put Bill Belichick into it, then it is a gigantic injustice in terms of sports. I can't believe it. I'm utterly shocked by it. And this shock will not wear off.
You're not the only one who's shocked. I'm looking at a tweet from our Pete Prisco. He said, if Belichick isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, the process is a bigger joke than we all thought it was. There are a lot of really good coaches on the list and a lot of deserving ones, but nobody more than him. Come on. I mean, and that's, I feel like, what a lot of people, both in the NFL, people who have worked with him, people who have supported the Patriots under his coaching, it kind of feels like that's what we're all feeling. So, JJ, we kind of talked a little bit about why, right? And there is the speculation that maybe some of his actions at UNC or his relationship with media members, maybe that has an impact here. What can you tell us about, without speculating too much, but why do you think that those voters didn't agree with what most people feel?
So there are 50 Hall of Fame voters on the committee. It took at least 40 of them to vote Bill Belichick in. I have to imagine, and again, I don't know. I haven't surveyed all 50 in the time since this news broke. But obviously more than 10 felt that he was not worthy of going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Again, their reasons are absolutely ridiculous, but I could speculate as to their absurd rationale. And it could potentially be Spygate, for which Bill Belichick, of course, was punished for the taping of other team signals and whatnot. Perhaps it was Deflategate, which we certainly do not have to relitigate. I think the New England Patriots still own a website that has pages upon pages of scientific explanations as to why the footballs were slightly deflated there on that cold January day in Foxborough against the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, he was confrontational and gruff with media, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter, because the Pro Football Hall of Fame is frankly what you did out there on the football field. And if you want to punish Bill Belichick for something, you know, this is not the place to do it. This is not something to trifle with. And Haley, I'll be completely honest with you. I believe that the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the committee and how the selection process is done, this has to change. There has to be an overhaul on it. Maybe the ballots become public, because we will never know. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, we will never know who did not vote for Bill Belichick. But the process will have to be overhauled because of how much of a miscarriage of justice this is, because it will erode the public trust in the process. This is the biggest honor that you could possibly have. I've told people, this is my third year voting on AP NFL awards, and it is a fantastic honor to vote for first and second team All-Pro, for NFL MVP, among others. I also vote for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, and I'm very proud to do that. I don't want a Hall of Fame vote because of everything that comes with it, because it is literally someone's life and legacy, and it changes the trajectory of their life and their children's lives and their grandchildren's lives. I don't want that. It's too much pressure for me, okay? But if you take that on, you can't trifle with a vote like this and do this to someone who very clearly deserves to be in it. Again, I don't want to make this bigger than it is, but it is as big as it gets in sports. Forget Barry Bonds and Cooperstown. Forget it. This is bigger than that. It makes no sense at all. Yeah, and like I said, just a lot of people very confused. One more before we let you go, JJ. I know you're so busy here. The Robert Kraft angle in all of this. We know that he is also a Hall of Fame finalist, excuse me. And for as much as he's done for this organization, those two have kind of been tied together. What more can you share about that and how that relationship has impacted this, if at all? Yeah, hopefully it didn't. Hopefully the committee, because you didn't have to vote for one or the other. They were in separate categories, right? And Robert Kraft has his own claim to being in the Hall of Fame, how he has helped the league grow into this multi-billion-dollar organization, how the New England Patriots have been the model for success. And of course, so much of that had to do with the quarterback. I think we all should say the quarterback, first of all, Tom Brady, who will be a first ballot Hall of Famer when his time is ready after the 5-year mandatory waiting period. But also Bill Belichick. And yes, Robert Kraft hired Bill Belichick. No question about it, stood by him for 24 years. And it was easy to stand by him when you kept going to the Super Bowl, and then ultimately dismissed Bill Belichick. Robert Kraft can get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, should get in at some point, and this may be his year. Let us hope that it was not an either-or situation. Let's hope that the committee didn't say, wow, we don't want this to be a little awkward because of their breakup. And it was a bitter breakup there. And the two men, I don't know how it would have been in Canton in August when they both should be in, but now we don't have to wonder because Bill Belichick won't be there. If he snubs his nose at Canton and just says, whenever you guys put me in, I'm not going to be there, I honestly wouldn't have any problem with that. This is gross. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there is a lot to process here. I guess, JJ, the obvious next question is when? If it's not this year, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, does that make him a second ballot Hall of Famer? Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, and again, if I'm him, and I don't know, he respects the game so much that I can't imagine that he would not show up, that he would not enjoy that honor, right? Because he is probably the foremost football historian out there. He has forgotten more football than any guest that you will have on this program. Add them all up combined, he has forgotten more football than any of them know, and myself certainly included in that. So, yeah, second ballot Hall of Famer. I guess he would show up. I guess he would accept it. But for the game that he has loved and respected so much, for it to disrespect him in this way, for some group of that 50 to disrespect him in that way, has to be such a blow to Bill Belichick.
I'm looking at first ballot NFL coaches. The list includes Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, George Halas, Curly Lambeau. I feel like Bill Belichick's name fits right in the middle, if not at the top of that list. So obviously, JJ, we will have to continue and wait to see if and when Bill Belichick will be a Hall of Famer. We appreciate you hopping on HQ with us. I know it's a busy time for you with all of the coaching changes and whatnot. JJ is surprised with us here on HQ. JJ Watt also surprised over on X. He tweeted this out. I can't be reading this right. This has to be some kind of knockoff Hall of Fame or something. It can't be the actual NFL Hall of Fame. There is not a single world whatsoever in which Bill Belichick should not be first ballot Hall of Famer, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side you fall on. That is your reality. Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer.